That's a story up by Paul Joseph Watson on Infowars.com. They say the cop pulled over a vehicle. It had paper tags and a registration violation. It had 3 Saudi Arabians with Saudi driver's licenses who told the officers they had a dead child in the trunk prepared for an Islamic burial at a mosque in Franklin, Tennessee. And the officer, not wanting to be disrespectful to the men or their faith, just let the car drive away without checking the trunk to see if the story was true. How about that? Diplomatic immunity, the same thing that we're seeing with people who are coming here illegally through the borders from any country. They can come here and do anything they want. We've seen this over and over and over again. So that's just another example of it. And as he points out in his article, he says, it'll infuriate many Americans who believe that illegal immigrants and other foreigners are being given free rein to commit crimes. I've seen it in my own personal life. I've seen it on the highway, especially on traffic violations. That's one excuse I've never used, though I guess I should. I need to get some papers to show that I'm a Saudi. I've got the beard. Maybe I could get away with that. I never thought of telling them I'm from a foreign country and I have a dead baby in the trunk, so you need to let me go. Maybe I'll try that next time they pull me over for speeding or something. We also have another story up on Infowars.com. They know something. Why did the Treasury Department just purchase thousands of survival kits for bank examiners? They're going in, they're going to spend $200,000 to get about 3,800 kits. And listen to the stuff they're putting out. The banks are turning into preppers. They've got a fanny pack that's going to hold all this stuff. They've got a 2,400-calorie food bar, a 3-pack, 8-ounce water, 50 water purification tablets. They've got 2 aspirins, 2 ibuprofens, 2 decongestant tablets. I mean, you know, oh, and this, don't forget this. They've got a whistle with a lanyard. See, that's what you blow when the guy with a gun takes all that stuff from you. Because this isn't really going to do them much good. But it's pretty amazing that the bankers think that they need to send this out. And, of course, it's all going to the big 7 or 8 banks. These survival kits will be delivered to every major bank in the U.S., Bank of America, American Express Bank, Capital One, Citicorp, J.P. Morgan, Chase, Wells Fargo, the usual suspects are all going to get their survival kits. Actually, you know, it's amazing how much the CIA is like the Federal Reserve. In both cases, they appear to be under the control of the government, and yet they are the ones who are actually controlling the government. That appearance of control is merely where the facade government, the visual government, this propped up phony government has a hearing and appoints the head of the Federal Reserve or the head of the CIA. After that, there's no auditing of anything that they do. Nobody's going to go to jail no matter what they do. Everything they do is in the dark. It's in the secret. And they're going to basically get away with everything that they've done over the last 10, 15 years. Nobody is going to go to jail. And, you know, the only person, actually there was one person who went to jail, of course, and his name's not in the report. He was the whistleblower who blew the whistle on the torture. He went to jail. He's still in jail. And nobody else is going to jail. We've seen that before, haven't we? Haven't we seen that before? I just did a interview on Monday night, talking to someone who has made the connection between the mortgage pump and dump and tracking it all the way through, the money being channeled through Swiss banks. Of course, we've talked in the past about whistleblowers exposing money laundering by the biggest banks, and they get a slap on the wrist fine from the Justice Department. The Justice Department says that they're too big to jail, just like they're too big to fail, but it goes beyond that. He's got some contacts in the intelligence community that say that this is, they're actually funding the black ops. Of course they are. They're funding, CIA is funding their black ops with the drug war. We've pointed that out over and over again. Yet nothing happens to them. But in many respects, the two of them are exactly the same. But again, we're going to talk more about that, and we're going to talk to Joe Biggs at the bottom of the hour. But this is rolling out in all of the Western countries. It's not just the United States. Look at what's going on in Japan. This is a report from The Guardian. The Prime Minister there, Abe, has put in a law that will essentially jail civil servants who leak state secrets up to 10 years in prison. Journalists who encourage whistleblowers to leak could get up to 5 years. See, it's the whistleblowers and the journalists who are going to go to jail, not the criminals who are torturing, not the people who are running the dark operations who are funding the drug war, not the people who are actually breaking the law, but the people who expose them. They want to go to jail. But you know what? The people that go to jail have a clear conscience. I haven't seen one of them yet regret that they blew the whistle. They don't want to go to jail, but they have the moral high
This
ground.
holiday season, give the gift that keeps on giving, an in-home freeze dryer from Harvest Right. With your very own freeze dryer, you'll be able to freeze dry the food your family loves. Because we live in uncertain, difficult times, what better way to show your love for your family than to buy them a gift that helps them preserve food they can use now or in 25 years. Go to harvestright.com and find out how you can get your in-home freeze dryer. Layaway is available. That's harvestright.com.
Mom, I can't do my math homework. I just don't get it. I hate math.
I've always tried to be a good mother, but when it came to Jamie's math, I was at a loss. Then a friend told me about Math Made Easy DVDs. Concepts are simplified in an easy way to follow and review, and students can learn at their own pace in the convenience of home. Listen, in the frustration, call Math Made Easy. Call now, 1-800-USA-MATH. That's 1-800-872-6284. Or visit us at mathmadeeasy.com.
Sold out for weeks due to the difficult and extensive proprietary process behind its creation, the exclusive InfoWars Life Secret 12 formulation is now back in stock in the last limited shipment of 2014. The most bioactive form that has been created with our proprietary process. This ultra-clean vitamin B12 nutraceutical has been carefully crafted and developed over the last 2 years and is based on cellular science of how your body actively absorbs essential nutrients. Secret 12 is taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Vitamin B12 deficiency is linked to scores of serious problems. And Secret 12 is a fusion of 2 organic proprietary forms of vitamin B12, bringing you a true nutraceutical quality vitamin B12. Secret 12 is an excellent Christmas gift. Secure your Secret 12 formula before December 17th at InfoWarsLife.com and receive it before Christmas guaranteed. That's InfoWarsLife.com before December 17th or by calling 888-253-3139.
What disaster is so powerful, it unleashes a chain of mass pandemics, economic meltdowns, and violent food riots, all at the same time? NASA has already set the countdown timer, and right now the 21st century apocalypse is less than 13 months away. Former CIA Director James Woolsey says 2/3 of U.S. population could perish. In a matter of seconds, the world as we know it will cease to exist. The world's economy will be wiped out. Mass riots will follow. Ancient diseases will reemerge. How will you shield yourself and your loved ones from this upcoming apocalypse? Go to darkestdays.info to find out proven methods of protecting yourself, your loved ones, and even your entire community when this worst-case scenario unravels. That's darkestdays.info. darkestdays.info. Go there before this life-saving information becomes unavailable to the large public. Go to darkestdays.info now.
Do you have relatives and friends that are convinced there is no need ever to prepare for any kind of emergency? Are these also folks you buy Christmas presents for? At 30dayfoodsupply.com, we can solve both of these problems at the same time. Go to 30dayfoodsupply.com or call 541-229-0010. We can ship your Christmas presents directly to them. Choose from our original $99 30-day food supply, our long-term storage vegan burger mixes, and other oatmeal, soups, porridges, beans, and granolas for everyday use. All products are non-GMO, MSG-free, and vegetarian. Most are gluten, soy, and nut-free. Call 541-229-0010 today. Oregon Trail Foods and 30dayfoodsupply.com keep prices low, cutting out the middleman by buying directly from their producers in Oregon. Remember, only $10 ships your entire order to the lower 48. Visit the website 30dayfoodsupply.com. Call 541-229-0010. 30dayfoodsupply.com. 541-229-0010.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight, your host on this Thursday. We're going to be talking to Joe Biggs in the next segment. He's going to talk to us about what happened, what he saw at the ground level. I want to look at the big picture right now about this torture report. What does this tell us about our government? And of course, as I pointed out in the last segment, Just like the Federal Reserve, there's the illusion of control over the CIA because we have these public hearings where they appoint the head of the Federal Reserve or they appoint the head of the CIA. But there's never any accountability. There's never any visibility. They both operate in secret and have massive power to control and destroy lives, to control and destroy the economy. They both operate totally in secret, and there is no real auditing of them. This report that came out is nothing but a bunch of contradictory lies, whitewashing anybody but the CIA of any responsibility because, of course, again, the CIA can't be punished. The CIA is above the law. But they don't want any presidents or people who are currently serving to get in any trouble. But take a look at some of the main characters that were involved in this. And as I pointed out, the only person who's gone to jail was the person who blew the whistle on this. But look at what we've got now. We've got John Brennan, who's the current head of the CIA. This was somebody who, at the very beginning, was involved in all of this in terms of apologizing for the torture. He was somebody that Obama wanted to put into place back in 2008. And when he came back 5 years later, he didn't put him in charge of the CIA at that time. He had nominated somebody else, but they kind of played musical chairs with the power elite. They rotated him back in the position 5 years later, so people wouldn't really understand that Obama's talk about controlling the CIA, the torture, the foreign wars, was all just a sham for his voters. It was all just a lie. And they didn't want to have him in 2008. And as this analysis from Connor Friedersdorf in The Atlantic pointed out when they were looking at the confirmation hearings of Brennan in 2013, he said back in 2008, Andrew Sullivan said, when Obama first considered Brennan as CIA chief, Andrew Sullivan said, if Obama picks him, it will be a vindication of the kind of ambivalence and institutional moral cowardice that made America a torturing nation. It would be an unforgivable betrayal of his supporters and his ideals. And then Connor Friedersdorf points out that 5 years later, Andrew Sullivan doesn't want to oppose his nomination, saying people change. Well, you know what? Brennan didn't change. The people who changed are people like Andrew Sullivan and the ACLU, who were right at one point in time on this issue, but then changed their minds. The ACLU's response to this Senate report was to say that we need to have Obama pardon the people involved. Because what he's doing now is he's tacitly pardoning them by not taking any action, not putting anybody in jail, not prosecuting anyone, not even firing anybody. So that's a very dangerous thing. We need to at least say that laws were broken. And that would be a good thing if we could even admit that laws are broken. You can't even get that in America. But that's what's happened to the opposition. They've just rolled over and laid down for all of this. They won't talk about it being immoral. They won't talk about it being illegal. They won't talk about anybody being fired or going to jail. The only person who's saying anything even close to that is Mark Udall, who's very upset. He's not coming back either. He did not win his reelection, and so he's taken some parting shots at the CIA. He says the CIA lied to the public, and John Brennan must quit, says outgoing senator in a fiery speech. This is an article from The Guardian. He accused the CIA and the White House, and that would be the Obama White House, of lying about brutal CIA interrogations and continuing to cover them up. Yes, that's exactly right. And I'm glad to see that I disagree with him on many issues, but, you know, we need to stand with people when they're doing the right thing, even if they're only right on one issue. Mark Udall has been really solid on this. At one point in time, he was saying that he was going to read the entire classified report, 6,000 pages, into the Senate record. They said the last time that happened was by Alaska Senator Mike Gravel back in the 1970s. He read the Pentagon Papers into the record. He could have done that. He chose not to do that, but they said he was clearly very angry. He said the CIA has lied to its overseers and the public. No, there aren't any overseers of the CIA. And to say that John Brennan must quit is not strong enough. John Brennan needs to go to jail. Not pass go, not collect $200, but the only thing we've got on this monopoly board are get-out-of-jail-free cards. Now, think about the people who are in charge of this. We got the current head of the CIA is John Brennan. The current head of Homeland Security is Jeh Johnson. He was involved as an attorney for the Department of Defense. giving legal cover to this back there. So they put him in charge of domestic law enforcement with Homeland Security. The other person involved with this, covering it up, allowing it to happen at the time, was James Comey, head of the FBI. This is coming to America. We're going to be right back with Joe Biggs. Stay with us.
We're on the mark.